Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Freebeat, and today I've got a really fun idea for a video. So you guys will probably remember in a recent video we took this guy, the PO34 Office, and we actually ran it into the computer and put it through Ableton there. Well, I had the idea of taking like samples of my drum set, sampling into, or making recordings in Ableton of each individual drum, putting some effects on them, and then putting them onto this guy, if it'll focus. Come on. There we go. My PO33 KO. And then coming up with some tracks on here that complement actual tracks on the drums. So play my drums like live along with sampled drums, my sampled drums on the PO33 with some effects on there from Ableton. So hopefully this works. I don't really know how I'm going to record this or anything, so kind of bear with me as I figure it all out. And yeah, let's go. Okay, so the first step, I think, is going to be to just play a drum. We're going to start off with the snare drum, I think. And I've got Ableton recording right now through the SM57. I'm just going to leave it in the same spot as always. And now we don't need to put the wallet down. Let's just play it. Now let's do the same for the rack tom here. Actually, let's turn the snares off. Now let's do the rack tom. Now let's do the floor tom. Now let's do the kick. And let's do a crash. And then let's do the ride. And then let's do the hi-hat. Oops, which is closed, apparently. There we go. Alright, there we go. That's everything on the kit. Let's switch over to Ableton and see what these things sound like. Okay, so now what I've done is I've cut up those samples and put them right here and kind of trimmed them down and worked on the fade. Now I'm going to drop some reverb onto them and maybe a little delay. And it's not going to be quite as crazy as it was with the PO24 with the Office. But yeah, I'm going to drop the effects on there and then we'll sample them into this right here. And should be fun. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, so I've dropped some reverb on there. I used the Big Room preset. And then I put some compression on there. I used the acoustic preset. Unfortunately, due to the way that I record things, I can't really record me sampling them onto the PO33. But I can show you what they sound like once they're on there. So I'm just going to individually put each one of these samples into a drum patch on here. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of delay to these and do the same thing again. I should have enough slots to be able to do all of them with reverb and then all of them with delay as well. Okay, so here we have our PO33. It has been, whoops, I bumped the camera. It has been loaded up with all the samples, so check it out. We've got two patches, identical, and that's so we can layer them. But here's what we have for just the straight samples with reverb. Pretty cool. And then here are the same samples with the delay. I didn't do the crash or the ride cymbal with delay because it's a cymbal and it has so much decay that the delay was kind of lost. So yeah, now I think we're ready to come up with some patterns for this thing. So actually, since I'm going to be playing cymbals, let's just come up with like a bass and snare drum pattern first. So we'll go to patch 13. Bank 13, and there's our kick. So let's go with like a really heavy, like John Bonham type, just like that. So select that bass drum. We'll put it on 1, and what would that be? The 1 and the E of 1. There we go. And then we'll do it again down there, and then we'll switch back to the snare. And put it right there on 2 and 4. That's pretty cool. That sounds massive, actually. Let's crank the BPM down a bit. Set down. There we go. And just for fun, drop the octave there. That's pretty cool. But what if we did on the second snare drum, what if we did a delayed snare instead? So right there. Actually, that's going to cut. So how this thing works, if we went straight and did a delayed snare, you'll hear it's going to get cut off by when the pattern resets. Actually, that's not that bad. Maybe I like that. I was going to say we could make a third bank, and that way we could layer another sound on there. Let's see how it would sound with hi-hat. So we'll switch to bank 14. Normally I combine my snare and bass and hi-hat samples, so I don't have to use 2 tracks at the same time, because this, remember, only has 4 tracks. But this time I think it'll work, because I don't think we're going to do anything melodic. There we go, there's the hi-hat. So we'll just put it just like that. That's pretty massive. I like that a lot. So now we're going to go back to the first bank here, and let's see. We're going to take this snare drum off, and then this bass drum off. So it's going to start off with 2 reverby bass drums. Then I'm going to play the snare drum on the acoustic kit. Then I'm going to play 2 kick drums on the acoustic kit, and then we'll get the reverby delay snare. So that'll sound pretty cool. It sounds weird on here, but it'll make sense once we have the actual drums on there. Then we're going to copy this pattern. For some reason, this is pattern 15. So we hold right pattern. I'm going to put it on 1 and on 2. So there it is there. Now let's switch it up for pattern 2. So let's say I'll play the bass drum, and then we'll both play it together on the last one with the delayed snare. Yeah, that'll be super cool. So then we'll loop those like that, and that'll be pretty sweet. Now let's copy this pattern again. So we'll copy 1 into 3, and we'll copy 2 into 4, so we can continue this loop here. And let's do something with the toms. Now, right here, instead of the delayed snare, we'll take that off. We'll do the normal snare. We'll put that right there. And then let's do like a ta-doom-doom on the tom. So for that, we'll do that one right there. See how much it cuts off. Not that bad. But I do want those toms to ring out, so for this we're going to go to the second bank, and that's where we're going to get our floor tom. We'll put it right there on the pattern. So now it should ring out. Yeah. And then lastly, I think I only want to do 4 patterns of this at first. I don't want to get too carried away and then have something not work, which I've done many times before on this channel. Also, the sun is starting to come out, and I need to block a window because it's messing with the light. Oh well. So for the last pattern, we'll do something with cymbals. Let's do something with a delayed hi-hat, which was that one. Whoop. And let's do like something really funky. Okay, so let's take off, we'll go back to this bank here, we'll clear it, and I'll play everything on this last one. And I think we're ready to go. We're going to jam to that for a bit. Maybe we'll come up with an ending, actually. Yeah, let's do that. We'll go to this last pattern here. We'll go to pattern 5, and then we'll go back to bank 1. And let's do the... We'll do kind of like the We Will Rock You. And I'll play this unison just so we can see how big it can sound. do boom, boom, bap, bap. And then we'll copy this one. Actually, I don't want the delayed one for that. Then we'll go do, 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 do. And then we'll put the snare drum right before. And do we want? I don't think we want the floor tone there. I think we want the kick. And then we're going to go to pattern 2 and put that reverby crash cymbal on the E of 4 there. So now it should go boom, boom, bap, bap, do, 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 da, da. And then we'll let it fade out. So we'll play pattern 5, and then we'll press an empty pattern so it doesn't restart before we can hit stop. That's pretty cool. I think that is good. I'll come up with an order to play these in, and then we'll sit down on the drums and try to jam along to it. Let's head over there. Alright, so here we are at the drum set, and we've got the PO33 right here, all loaded up with a pattern order that I think will work, or a pattern chain. Hopefully this kind of opens the door to future possibilities, just kind of testing the waters. We'll see how it goes. Here we go. Alright, well I honestly thought that went pretty well, and I'm kind of excited to see what else can be done with this in future videos. So thanks for watching. If you had a good time, if you enjoyed it, click the like button. If not, you can click dislike, that's alright too. Whatever you do, just remember to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.